Let's be honest, when you hear workstation security, your eyes probably glaze over a little bit, right? It sounds technical and boring. But what if we looked at it in a totally different way? What if we think of it as building your own personal digital fortress?
So let me ask you something. Think about the computer or phone you're on right this second. How strong are its walls? I mean, really. Are we talking thick stone walls built to last? Or maybe something a little more like a picket fence?
Because that's exactly what your computer is. It's your fortress. And inside, that's the treasure. Your photos, your private messages, your financial info, your entire digital life. And any fortress, as you know, is only as strong as its weakest point.
Okay, so let's get to building. Over the next few minutes, we're going to lay out the whole blueprint for this fortress. First, we'll tackle the most obvious target, the front gate. Then, we're going to head inside and lock down the treasure vault itself. And finally, we'll talk about who gets the keys to the castle. So, let's dive in.
Every single fortress has to have a strong front gate, right? It's your number one first line of defense. And in our world, that gate is your password. It's the one thing standing between a potential attacker and, well, everything.
And this slide just perfectly illustrates the difference between doing it right and not so right. On the left, you've got the makings of a really strong gate, unique passwords, two-factor authentication. But on the right, that's what a lot of people are actually using. Default passwords like admin or password. I mean, using one of those is like leaving your front door unlocked with a big sign that says, "Come on in."
So how do we actually build that stronger gate? Well, it all comes down to length and complexity. Think about a passphrase, something like Blue River 2025 wind. See how it's long? It's pretty random, but it's actually easy for you to remember. That's the goal. Then you absolutely have to add that second lock, which is multi-factor authentication, or MFA. And to keep track of all these awesome new passwords, a password manager is non-negotiable. It's basically your own personal gatekeeper who never sleeps.
Okay, but let's say an intruder somehow gets past that super strong front gate. It can happen. What now? Is all your treasure just sitting out in the open? No way. Not if you've secured the vault. And that's where data encryption comes in. This is your last and maybe your most important line of defense.
So what is encryption? Well, think of it as a secret language for your data. It takes a file you can read, scrambles it all up into something that looks like complete nonsense. That's called ciphertext. And the only way to turn it back into something readable is if you have the one and only secret key. Without that key, it's just digital gibberish.
I love this image because it nails the concept. Encryption is just like putting a physical, heavy-duty padlock on your hard drive. If a thief steals your laptop, so what? All they have is a locked box. Without that key, all your important data is totally useless to them. And here's the best part. You probably already have these tools. If you're on Windows, you've got BitLocker to lock down your entire drive and BitLocker to go for any USB drives you use. There's even something called the encrypting file system, or EFS, that lets you lock individual files or folders. It's like having a whole set of different locks for all your different treasures.
Okay, our front gate is solid. Our treasure vault is locked tight. But what about the people who are already inside the walls? Who has the keys to which rooms? This is all about managing user permissions.
The golden rule here is a huge concept in security called the principle of least privilege. It sounds fancy, but the idea is actually super simple. Don't hand out master keys that open every door. Instead, you give each person only the exact keys they need to do their job and absolutely nothing more.
And this infographic is basically your checklist for making that happen. You've got to change those default admin passwords right away. You need to get rid of any old accounts that are just sitting there unused. Turn on MFA everywhere you can. And as we're about to see, make sure that guest access is completely shut down. Every one of these actions is like locking a side door you didn't even realize was open.
And speaking of which, here is one of the easiest, fastest, and most important things you can do. Go into your settings and make sure that the guest account is disabled. It's a classic way for attackers to sneak in, and closing this door is a huge immediate win for your fortress security. So, we've walked the perimeter, we've locked down the vault, and we've done an audit of who has the keys. Now let's pull it all together into a really clear, simple plan of attack, your personal fortress security plan.
Here it is, your 4-step battle plan. It's that simple. Number 1, build strong gates with a password manager and MFA. Number 2, secure the vault by turning on full disk encryption. Number 3, manage the keys.
And that means using a standard account for your everyday stuff, not your admin account. And finally, number 4, seal those cracks by disabling that guest account right now.
So there you have it, the complete blueprint to build a seriously strong digital fortress. The plans are all right here. The only question left is, what's the very first brick you're going to lay to make your fortress stronger today?